Tonight is the 26th day of the Omer, which is 3 weeks and 5 days. And Ashkenazim say of the Omer again, or maybe just the second time, I don't know. And then we pray for the ultimate redemption. Rahman, and the Merciful One, please bring us our third temple, bring us back to our home. Let us be back home with you. So one quick nigun, one quick melody that we could all sing together. We sang it on the beach. Maybe we know it by now. But everyone together. Did it na 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 na. Did it na 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 na. Did it na na. For up to me, we just sing for an hour. And probably be even good for all of you. L'chaim, l'chaim. Meaning it'd be good for all of you much better than what I'm going to say. The songs are holy songs, they go straight up. Words are limited. I'm talking right now, right? I'm talking. And B'ezrat Hashem, if you're interested in what the guy is saying, so you listen. One guy talking, and either 0 if you're talking to yourself, or 100 people, whatever it is, listening. When you're singing, you have 100 people talking at the same time. But whereas when you're talking, it becomes chaos. When 100 people are singing and talking by singing, then it's harmony. So l'chaim, l'chaim, we need a lot of harmony and peace in the world. L'chaim, l'chaim. You know, when Rebbe Zera was a Tana, one of the rabbis of the time. It was an Amoira, right? Time of the Gemara. And it says something very interesting. It says that when he went from Babylonia, he went from there to Israel, he prayed and fasted for 40 days that he should merit the blessing of forgetting everything he ever learned. And after 40 days, his prayers were answered. So they asked him, they said, Rebbe Zera, you're one of the greatest minds and scholars and leaders of our generation. You told me the Torah of Rebbe Zera, right? Rebbe Zera. Rebbe Zera and right? Rabbah and Rebbe Zera, then Purim. So they asked him, they said, Rebbe, you're one of the greatest teachers, you know everything in the world. Why would you ever, our whole lives we're praying to acquire knowledge, and you're praying to forget? Like, it doesn't make any sense. He said, well, it wouldn't make sense if you know, the greatest thing we could achieve is the Torah we learned in Babylonia. The only problem is that the Torah in Israel itself is so much holier, so much more awesome, that I'm so full with the Torah of exile, I need to completely empty myself out to receive the Torah of redemption. So I pray, I didn't fast today, but I pray that everything I learned and everything I prepared for the class, I should forget. And it shouldn't be, you know, because we know that in the Garden of Eden there were 2 trees, the 2 famous trees. Who knows the 2 trees? Who knows 2 trees? I know 2 trees. Okay, what are the 2 trees? Eitz Hachaim, Eitz Hadas, Emes Hachaim. There's the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. The tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. What did God say? Just don't do this one thing. Don't eat from the tree of knowledge. And the idea was after Shabbat, where everything raises up in holiness again, they would eat from the tree of life and then eat from the tree of knowledge. So what does this mean? What happened? We ate from the tree of knowledge. It means that now we have a disease. All of us, every person who's alive, who has not completely refined themselves, has a bit of a disease. Our disease is over-intellectualism. Our disease is that we process everything and plan our lives from our minds completely, without taking our heart so many times, our soul into account. Sometimes you're doing something and your mind's like, yeah, this is right, I need to make money, I need to make Heli Tzadekis, L'chaim. Look, I need to make money, I need to be alive, right? We need these things. So I should work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that's what I need, right? That's what I need to live, and I'm supporting my family with that money. I can give so much charity with that money, and because everything in this world, obviously, right, guys? Obviously, everything can be bought with money. So, especially in today's society, right? Everything, anything you want, just money, you're good to go. That's what we all think sometimes. So because it makes sense to me that I should be making money, so I don't have time with my family, and I don't take that 1 day a week of Shabbat, of just breathing and being rather than doing. And Because your mind tells you need to make money. Where you might be so depressed and full of anxiety because your soul is crying out, what the heck? This is what I was brought down to the world for? This? For the amount of money in my bank account? I mean, you know the famous story. The Frierdiker Rebbe, the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, came to America, and he was telling his friends, he said, I'm in shock. I cannot believe what I've seen, what I've heard in this place, in America. He says, never in my life have I heard someone's worth be defined by how much money he has in his bank or her bank. Right? How much is he worth? He's a millionaire, right? The Frierdiker Rebbe was appalled. He couldn't believe it. That this is the land of money and this is what people value. So your heart, your soul, which is desiring, yearning to use the physical world for a higher purpose, not just to do, but to live, to refine itself, to connect. So your soul's crying out. And so many times we hear this cry of the soul, we feel depressed, we feel, what am I doing? You know, we have those moments, and we're like, man, I'm really messed up, I have to go to a psychologist. You know, my shrink says I'm all messed up thinking about something else, you know? Anyway, so the whole point of this was to say that there were two trees in the Garden of Eden. There was the tree of knowledge, and there's the tree of life. What was supposed to happen is we're supposed to eat from the tree of life, and then eat from the tree of knowledge. Meaning, our God didn't create a world of mindless, I would say idiots, but I don't want to. He didn't create a world of mindless people. He created a brain. He created intellect. Meaning we have to use that to the utmost, as best we can. But it needs to be in perspective. First, we need to be in touch with who we are, with ourselves, with our heart, with our soul, with the tree of life. An awareness, a centeredness in our entirety, in our entire being. And from that place, to use your mind, to enhance your heart, to enhance your life, but not to reject your heart for your mind. So I'm praying that I forget everything I learned to prepare for the class, which is already halfway done, because I don't want to speak, and it's worth it. If you have to do half the class preparation, then that's what you got to do. But it's worth it because when I am here, it's not me, it's just everything I'm saying is what I've learned, what I've studied in Chassidus and in these holy, holy, deep works, which are more relevant every single day. And I just don't want what I'm saying to be head stuff, to be something that's just an intellectual process without depth, without heart. Everything I say, I want it to be from my heart and enter your heart, and it should be true and real, and we should grow from it. It shouldn't just be something left in the air. It should be something deep and real. So it's not my head to your head, it's my heart to your heart. L'chaim, l'chaim. So I was thinking about something, but first I have to tell you a story. There's these two women, Jewish women.
Yes.
These two, I love you, bro. These two Jewish women were sitting down for coffee, elderly women. And one of them asked her friend, she says, so, no, how your kids doing? How's your son and daughter? Well, it's pretty good. Even before there was not even a punchline yet. No. So she says, my son Daniel is married. Oh God, she's the devil. I tell you, she sleeps in till 11 every day. She spends his money like it's going out of style. And she doesn't even want to cook for him. She makes him take her to expensive restaurant every single night. It's a disaster. No, so how's the tzaddikus? How's your holy daughter doing? How's Neshamale? Oh my God, Neshamale is married to such a tzaddik. He's a saint. He brings her breakfast in bed every day. He lets us spend money like as much as she wants. He gives it to her. And every night she doesn't even have to cook. He takes her to a restaurant. It's amazing. It's so interesting because we're at this time right now that is the book, in English they call it Leviticus. I always thought it had the coolest name. So before I ever even learned the first chapter of the first book of the Torah, anything, before I read any Torah, all I saw was the 5 books and this Reformed Temple Isaiah, you look at the wall and there's those 5 books, you're just learning how to read Hebrew. It says Bereshit, Genesis. I don't even know what Genesis means at 4 years old, you know what I mean? Something, okay, Genesis. Then you have Shemot, Exodus. It's a cool name, it's awesome, Exodus. Cool. But then when you get to Vayikra, Leviticus, it just, maybe because my name starts with an L, I have no idea. But something about Leviticus was just so cool. Bamidbar means numbers. I mean, that's definitely not going to be my number one choice. And Devarim, Deuteronomy, I don't know. Leviticus, it's in the middle. It must be the heart of the book. It's what the whole point of the whole Torah comes down to this book. It's the center. And then you open it up. You're like, okay, let's check it out. Let's check out Leviticus. Who knows what it's going to talk about? Angels and demons? I don't know. Man. And you open it up and it's like hundreds and hundreds of sentences and paragraphs and essays about sacrifices. Sacrifices. All the different sacrifices that we have to do. So many people, they decided, well, this is outdated, this is inhumane, we're going to take out parts of the Bible, which is obviously not relevant today, and they take out all the inhumane stuff and make this little pretty, oh, look at the Torah, it's this really cute, pretty thing. There was this Polish guy, there's an anecdote of this Polish guy who translated Shakespeare. And he said, Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, translated and improved by Sender Krakowitz. Right? The guy who's coming to improve Shakespeare, right? It's like God gives you this deepest wisdom in the world. Hey, bro. What's up, brother? Come give me a hug. Hey, guys. Welcome. I'll give you hugs after.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Hugs on the beach.
L'chaim. So we got this perfect, awesome divine wisdom. And we think that, because I don't understand something or it's a bit uncomfortable for me on some level, we have to change it up and it's not relevant anymore, whatever. The problem is, as we know the famous story of the Alter Rebbe, the founder of the Chabad school of Kabbalah, he said, someone came to him, I said this last week, I think. He was wearing this long, trench coat, and the Hasidim, what they wear, the strimal and the payas and the beard. And the guy came to him, he's like, Alter Rebbe, can't you live with the times a little bit? What is this? What is this? He says, brother, I don't know where you've been, but I'm always living with the times. Last week was Vayikra, this week is Tzav, next week is Shmini. I live with the Parsha of the week. I live with the times. Because we know that in Kabbalah and in Hasidus and in all the deeper aspects of Judaism, there's one simple, common, golden thread throughout the entire Torah. That every single law and every word and every letter and every crown and every letter is not just something interesting. It's not just head stuff. It's not just the tree of knowledge. It's the secrets of life. And is relevant to us at every moment on a spiritual and psychological and emotional level, always. So, what is it about these sacrifices? That God wasted hundreds and hundreds of lines in His book to tell us. L'chaim. Niggin in the middle.
Huh?
Just a quick one, little one. I wish I had it.
Did it?
Guys. L'chaim in the middle.
L'chaim in the middle, Yush. L'chaim, l'chaim.
We're gonna have to make l'chaim.
So guys, I want to share something very personal with you. You know, part of me is telling me to explain myself first.
Just keep going.
So there was a guy coming to America back in, we had Ellis Island, and he's this really Hasidic guy. He speaks Yiddish. He does not speak English, Russian, or anything else. He speaks. So he wants to move to America. So they tell him, look, go to there's this old Jewish guy. He sits there, he's been there for 50 years, he's never changed his questions. So you get there, he's going to ask you, first of all, what's your name? Say, Moshe Weiss. Okay? How many children do you have? So you say 5. How many states are there in the United States? 50. And what's the name of the President of the United States? George Washington. So for the 3 weeks, he's getting this nailed down. Moshe Weiss, 5, 50, George Washington, we're good to go. And he says at the end, they're going to ask you, are your parents alive? And you say, thank God, both. So he memorizes this, he's good to go. He goes to Ellis Island, ready to come to America, to the Holy Land. And he sits there with his Strimals payas. And the guy who's interviewing him, this old Jewish guy, tells him, listen, I've been doing this many years. I'm sure this test will not be difficult for you. It's rather straightforward. Please just answer, and I'll let you into the country. I'll give you your citizenship. So he says, please tell me, sir, what is the name of the first president of the United States? Without skipping a beat, he says, Moshe Weiss. Says, oh, okay, how many states are there in America? He says, 5. How many children do you have? 50. And sir, what is your name? This guy's really the Hasidic guy. He says, George Washington. Immediately, this guy's been working there many years. He realizes exactly what happened. He tells him, my friend, tell me, who is Meshuga? Which one of us is crazy, me or you? And he says, thank God, both. So the feeling I have is that sometimes I feel very connected to my body, my animal soul, my self-indulgent consciousness, if you will. Because we know in Kabbalah and Hasidus they teach that every person has 2 souls. Neither one is bad, neither one is, they're different consciousnesses. One is the animalistic soul, the animal soul, the vivifying soul. When you say I, that's you. That's your animal soul. That's your soul that's alive, that you feel in your blood, that you feel as awake, as conscious. It's the only thing with it is that it's very self-centered. Very self-centered. It's not bad. It's just very focused on itself and fulfilling all the desires and yearnings of itself. Then there's this godly consciousness, so to speak, this higher awareness that is the whole focus of it is self-transcendence. Is going beyond yourself for another, for your God, for your spouse, for your friend. It's going beyond yourself. The animal feels complete naturally when it gets what it wants. When it's able to feel that I have me, strong. The divine soul experiences that joy through giving, through being altruistic. So we constantly live in this complete dichotomy. On the one hand, we're completely divine, completely godly. It says, in the Torah where it says God breathed the soul into man, right? That's the phrase where it says, it describes the way we got life. Breathed a soul into man. Does God go into the doctor for asthma? Does God have lungs? Does he breathe? What does it mean? What's the Torah, this divine wisdom, divine book trying to tell us? But it says God breathes. So in Chassidus it explains, in Alter Rebbe in chapter 2 in the Tanya, he says, it's from the Zohar, that he says when you breathe, the air goes to your innermost essence. And when you breathe out, you're breathing out from that innermost place, and that air is gushing out. Meaning, what's the Torah trying to say? By God breathed the soul into man, it means that the soul that gives us life, that we're the energy, the life source we're connected to, is from God's most infinite, essential place. Each of us. And that's true for you, and it's true for the person next to you. That's why to really love someone doesn't mean, the Gemara says, if you love someone for a specific cause, that love will die. But if you love someone without any specific cause, then that love is infinite, is enduring. Because if you love someone because of something they have or something they are, on a tangible thing, we know everything fades. People change. What never changes, no matter what? This divine spark within each of us. And on that level, you can love someone forever and for real. No matter how bad they are or how many wrong things they've done, it doesn't mean you have to love everything they do. We're people, we have free will, we have a body, we have an animal soul. God bless you. But at their essence, at their core, you have to love them because they're a spark of true goodness. So we live always in this dichotomy. Like I said, the animal soul is not bad. It's not bad. Our animalistic consciousness of wanting to eat, wanting to sleep, wanting to engage and be, self, reaffirm itself. It's not bad. It's just selfish a little bit. It's a little selfish. It's not bad. It's just thinking about itself. What's in it for me? So we know that the whole purpose of everything is God takes that infinite spark of Him and places it within a human body. Why? So that they could become friends. The godly spark and the animal spark. And the godly spark can say, look, brother animal soul, you're so good. You have things that I could never dream of. Now, let me ask you guys, when you want to do something good, okay, there's a poor guy on the street, you want to give him $5 to charity, Are you like, or like, maybe once in a while, but are you generally like passionate, like, oh my God, take the $5, hug him, kiss him, this is the greatest moment of my life. How many times have we been so hungry at the end of Yom Kippur, eating like the greatest pizza or sushi or steak juicing in your mouth, like it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to be in touch with that fire of the animal soul. The thing is that the godly spark doesn't have that fire, it doesn't have that passion. So really they need each other. Now, what's the problem with an animal? Animals are cute and sweet. I used to have 3 dogs. Animals are the cutest, sweetest things in the world. However, left to their complete own device, they could start destroying. They could go on a rampage. You could have lions escaping the zoo, killing people, God forbid. You could have wild dogs. And the same is true with us. Left unchecked, we each have this ability to sort of lose ourselves in our desires, in our passions, in our ego, in ourself. The Alter Rebbe one time was given some snuff. You guys know snuff? You ever go on Yom Kippur? If you go to synagogue, you pass around this little snuff. It's a little like tobacco. A lot of times it's like mint flavored. You know what I'm talking about? No, you don't know? You smell it. You like a little like, it's like not drugs, but like all of a sudden everyone starts sneezing around the place, like everybody's blowing their nose, you don't know what happened. And then it comes around to you and you're like, oh, this smells great, I'll take some, it smells great. And then all of a sudden you're like sneezing, you can't listen, you're ruining everybody's prayer. So the Alter Rebbe was given a little snuff. A snuff with a little box. Now we know the thing is, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree, we touched it, we ate it, we tasted it. We even heard the crunch, or we heard the snake telling us to eat it, right? It says every one of our senses was destroyed, or was blemished with the tree of knowledge, except one, smell. Smell is the holiest, loftiest, untainted pleasure in the world. That's why when Shabbat ends, we each smell a little spice, a little sweet thing, because it's sort of, we're at the end of Shabbat, we lose our godly, so we lose a perception of our soul, so we smell something sweet to sort of give us life again. So, the Alter Rebbe looks at him and he says, brother, I'm ruined, I'm completely ruined. I have every base desire in the world. I love eating, all these physical desires. Now you want me, even my sense of smell, to be lost in my desire for smell? So he undid, he took off the top of the box, and there was a mirror, and he used it in the morning for his tefillin, to make sure his tefillin, we know it has to be between the eyes, over the head, so make sure his tefillin is here with the mirror. So someone was telling the story to the Tzemach Tzedek, to his grandson, the third Lubavitcher Rebbe, and he said, he was saying this story, and he said, and the Alter Rebbe broke off the top to use as a mirror. And the Tzemach Tzedek stopped him and he said, no, my friend. Don't say things you're not sure about. Because my grandfather, the Alter Rebbe, never broke anything. in his entire life. He took out the nail that was holding it in, and he removed it without breaking anything. Now they use that as a metaphor. It's a true story, but they use that as a metaphor to explain the whole idea of Judaism. The moment you think that you're supposed to deny yourself, to say no, to break yourself, that's not it at all. It's not to deny your animal soul. It's to transform it, that the passion and fire of the animal soul should be used for the good.
Amen.
That passion, that only a juicy steak in front of you, or for the vegans, I have no idea what can give you that joy. But
Mushrooms.
what?
Mushrooms.
Amos,
A
right?
grape.
Huh?
A grape.
A grape, or a crepe, or any of the maybe amazing like foods they have in this world. French fries, maybe that's vegan. So, so that fire that we can feel with our body, our goal in this life is not to deny that, not to reject that. It's to say, good, you have these desires, you have an animal soul, that's awesome. Use it for good.
Amen.
You have this sense of self, this ego, good. Have an ego for doing the right thing. Stand up to the entire world to do what you know is right. L'chaim.
Chaim.
And guys, in the now is the time of the Omer. Now's the time where but it's so funny, after I talk to people who are at the class, nobody remembers I mean, the girls are holier, they know what's going on. The guys are like, oh, he said a couple good jokes, like that's all he remembers. It's amazing. I bless you remember a little bit more, brother, l'chaim. Not that it's worth remembering, but it doesn't hurt.
That's why we're recording it.
Amos.
You could remember.
So, they say a good story you can say once a year. A good joke you can say once every 2 years. And a really good Devar Torah, a really good idea, you could say twice in the same speech. So here's another angle. This time is called the Omer, the time of the Omer. It's a time from Pesach, from Passover, from the second night we start counting until the 49th day. Then the 50th day is Shavuot, is the day we receive the Torah. So, Omer. It's the Omer. Why is it called the Omer? Who knows? Why is it called the Omer? What's the Omer?
It's a measure. It's a measure of barley that we...
Amos, Shkoyach. Who said it down there? I heard barley down there. Amos, it's Talmid Chacham, obviously, I forgot. I'm honored that you're listening to my little words. So, it's a sacrifice of barley. We used to give as a sacrifice to God, okay? The barley. Barley is known in all of ancient literature as food for the animals. That's what used to feed the animals, and they still do. Barley. So God, in His infiniteness, couldn't ask for a greater offering. Food for animals? Is that what He wants? Gold? I don't know. An animal like the rest of the other sacrifices? Why barley? Why this food for animals? Now, okay, you'll say, well, no, he doesn't care about he doesn't care about what it is, right? Like Cain and Abel, right? Adam and Eve's children, Cain and Abel. Pshia. I love you guys. Welcome. Cain and Abel, they each offered sacrifices. One offered from the grain, and one offered from the animals. Which one is accepted? Huh? The one with animals was accepted. So the one with the animals was accepted. So you'll say, so obviously because animals are greater quality than the vegetables that he was offering. It's harder to give up an expensive animal rather than a few grains of barley or something. So the answer is no. It's not because it was more precious. It's because Abel gave the best of his livestock, the best of his animals, and Cain, the one who killed Abel because the sacrifice was rejected, gave just like the simple crop, the flax. So really, it's not about what we give God. It's about how we're giving it. How much of a self-sacrifice, so to speak, it is. Okay, but the problem remains, because barley is not a self-sacrifice for anyone. So why is God asking us to bring him barley, this food of animals? That might be some people who really wanted to do it the best way would give of the first.
Maybe because our animal souls need the nourishment.
Oh, like through sacrificing it to God.
I mean, for you asked why give the barley to animal? It's an animal. It's a very, very low level. Why? So maybe the lowest part of our soul, our animal soul, really needs the most help to reach the higher levels. So where the animal soul is so powerful, like you said, it really pulls us around. But if so, it's like basically Hashem giving us a helping hand, and through the Omer, through the counting of these days, we can rectify the animal soul and transform it into a godly soul.
It's gewaldig. I think we'll go down that path. First of all, I want to make a pre-thing. Jared, I did not mean no, that's not the right answer. I just meant no, that's not where I'm going with this. Because what the heck do I know about what the sacrifice is and anything? I don't know anything. So that's a great idea. I don't know. I'm going a different path. L'chaim. So now this is where I want to get a little bit more personal. There are many, many times, because we live in this constant dichotomy of self-centeredness and self-transcendence, of thinking about myself and thinking about the other, about doing right or doing what I want, right? Of living a life of fulfilling my desires or living a life of meaning. As much as I want deep down to always do the right thing, and I always wanting to feel like I'm slowly transforming my body, transforming my animal soul, using that energy for the right way. All the beautiful ideas I spoke about so far, as much as I'd love to do that, I find myself many, many times, and maybe I'm alone in this, but feeling more of an animal than of a spirit, than of a spark of godliness. There are many times where I'm either in this crazy test of wanting to do the right thing, but inner turmoil, and sometimes I'm able to be strong and regardless, I'm able to still at least be Moshe Weiss. I'm able to still memorize the answers. I'm able to still, even if my passion isn't, even if I don't understand, sometimes I'm able to still do the right thing, even if it's hard. Sometimes I fall. Sometimes I mess up, and sometimes I'm I look at myself what the heck am I? And I question everything. I question whether I'm even a good person anymore. Am I good? Maybe I'm just so self-centered. How could I get upset at that person? Sometimes, and Dad, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get, frustrated with my parents. And I don't treat them with the respect that I wanted to treat them, and my friends. And what is a person to do when they feel like we're just animals? Maybe somewhere deep down, I want to be good, maybe. But all I feel and all I want, and even what I want to want, like is just here now, what's in front of me. And that could be so painful, because you're like, is that my life? Just walk around fulfilling whatever, instinct I have at that moment? Do I even have the strength to be more? Maybe. But without wanting to be more, I'm never going to be more. So what's a person to do? What's a person who's living on the level of an animal? What are they supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? It's hard. I don't know if you guys have experienced this. It's difficult. Look, if you're not thinking about it, and you're not someone who's yearning and struggling and trying, to be more, then, okay, so that's exactly what I'm here for. To fulfill my base desire and instincts at every moment. That's what I'm here for. I'm supposed to do something for God? Are you crazy? I'm supposed to go beyond myself for another human being? No, it's about me. It's all about me. And some people live their lives that way. And there was just another 5 minutes or so. 10 minutes. Let's call it 9. 9 minutes. So, thanks, bro. There's a guy, and he was on his deathbed, and he tells his children, please, many of us know this story, please, I have one request. He gives them a letter. You know the story? He gives them a letter, and he says, open this after I'm buried. And he tells them, I want you to know that my last request is that I want you to bury me. He was a very, very wealthy man. And he says, I want you to bury me with my socks. I have my favorite socks that I love those socks. I love them. Because I'm scared of, I have podophobia. I'm very scared of feet. So I walk with my socks all day long. So I also don't want to go, I want to go to the grave with my socks. My last request. A week later, the guy passes on. By the way, guys, this whole class is in honor of Habiba Bat Chana. Her neshama should have a completion and should be raised up to the highest places in heaven. Amen.
Amen.
And she says, and also for my dear friend's father, Eliezer David ben Mordechai. His neshama should have a complete aliyah in Shemaim and have a complete eternal rest until Mashiach comes, and he should come to this world dancing with all of us.
Amen.
So the caretakers come, the Chevra Kadisha, they're coming to bury the father, and what? Sorry, you can't bury him with socks. You cannot do that. We have laws, and these are, you guys are Jewish, you should know it. You can't bury, you have to, it's very specific, all the laws are the ritual is very important. They don't wear anything except the cloth, and in America they have to put them in a casket. In Israel they don't even put a casket, they just put it, you can't wear socks. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. No. And they're begging, like it's his last, and they're crying. They're so broken, they bury him. So broken that they couldn't fulfill their father's last dying request. He wanted his freaking socks, so they're making plots. Okay, we're going to dig him up, whatever, In the midst of all this, they're sitting Shiva and let's open the letter that Dad wanted us to read. They open up the letter, they're sitting down, everyone together. And he says, my sweetest children, I've left you so much. And I'm so thankful that I was able, Hashem blessed me with such blessings to pass on to you. But remember one thing. I couldn't even leave this world with my socks. So the person who wants to be more, the person who wants to tap into the level of their soul and use their animal soul for good, to slowly refine it and transform it, faces this internal destruction of feeling like I'm nothing. I'm trying to not be angry with my parents and I get angry. I'm nothing. I'm an animal. I'm nothing. We left Egypt We saw the craziest miracles in the world. God split the freaking sea and gave us the 10 commandments and then did the 10 plagues, and we crossed the sea. Right away, the first thing is, in the middle of the Omer, right, at this time, hey, I'm thirsty. Hey, God, I'm thirsty. Where's my water? And we're complaining. We want water. And we're complaining and complaining and complaining. I'm sure they also felt bad that they were complaining, you know? God did all this for us and we can't even just trust with a little water? Or all the complaints we did? I don't want to complain. I want to have complete faith. I want to be a completely godly soul. But I have a body. I have an animal soul. And sometimes we give in to that. So what's a person to do in that low place where they feel, what's the point? So you say, okay, tell the guy, try a little bit, put on your tefillin. I should put on tefillin? Me? Are you crazy? God would literally spit in my face if I put on tefillin, because I would be spitting in his face by doing so. I just bought this awesome house. You're telling me to give $10 to that person? And it's just, they feel so bad that they spent so much money and were so self-indulgent that they can't even give the $10 because they feel they already messed up so much. That's how they define, I'm an animal, I'm a body, it's all about me. And even if the deeper inner voice tells them, come on, try, do a little bit, I'm begging you, crying out, you feed it with more money and feed it and blind it with more food, or this or that. So God, in his infinite kindness, gave us something to teach us the deepest lesson in the world. You're an animal. You're nothing. There's no godliness because you're just an animal following whatever instinct and desire you have at that moment. Even you can bring me a sacrifice. Even you can bring me the barley. You think, what's my tefillin worth with everything wrong I've done? Let me ask you, you're in a completely pitch black room. And you light a little tiny tea light candle. And this is a big one. Okay, this is a big one. I'm not asking this big. This is huge. I'm talking a little tea light candle that's going to last a little bit. And you light it in that pitch black room. It's going to shine such a light and so bright because it's coming from such a dark place. The idea of the sacrifices is not about what we're bringing. It's not about the cow, it's not about the sheep, it's not about the barley. It's about us bringing the sacrifice. It's about the sacrifice from us. And the problem with today is that we've so instilled within us that it's so bad to sacrifice. It's so bad to sacrifice. You should be thinking about yourself. What's the dog eat world? What is it called? What's the phrase?
It's a dog eat
dog world. Dog eat dog world. Right? Think about yourself. Oh, you're going to spend time on Shabbats being with your family and not working? No. This is the world we live in. It's a world that doesn't know sacrifice. Only yourself. And take care of yourself. And everybody else comes second to you. And whatever, just one little tiny thing, because we're still within the 9 minutes, for another 4 minutes. A marriage, right? What do I know about being married? Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should all be blessed to find our true soulmates. Amen.
Amen.
Look at these holy Yidden. Even though they're married and you have to spend time with your family and it's so hard, to have free time, but they're still coming to learn. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. B'ezras Hashem, we should also have such holy spouses to push us to grow in our spirituality and to continue to utilize our animal soul in the holiest ways. L'chaim.
Amen. L'chaim. So, in a marriage,
a marriage that's just based on the animal soul is never going to be a true marriage. Because you're only going to be thinking about yourself. And our society today tells us that if you give in, if you sacrifice, that means you're weak. If you sacrifice, they better sacrifice next time. The idea of the Jewish marriage, the idea of Jewish life is defined by sacrifice. Is defined by being able and to have the strength to let go of your pride and to say, I love them not for me, I love them for them. And I'm going to work so hard not for me, I'm going to work so hard for them. Because I love them for them, not for me. It's not about me loving them, it's about them. It's about my friends. It's not about the way I think my friend should be. It's about how my friend should be. When you really love someone, when you give them advice, the advice is not what you think they should do. Then you tell them, oh, you should do this. When you really love someone, you hear what's best for them. How do they feel? And then you give them your advice, but from their eyes. So I'm going to end with two short stories. So, first of all, l'chaim at the end. L'chaim at the end. First story is this. First story is this. A man, there was this big, awesome, holy Hasidic Rebbe. I forgot his name. And after, he would sit and have his students and people coming from all over the world to come speak to him and get advice from him. And my personal Rebbe, the holy Oster Rabbi Rebbe Shlita, I've seen this miracles with him. The way he's able to sit for 12 hours at a time, hearing people's problems, blessing them, giving them advice. And it's the most incredible advice. My mom, now we have a sister-in-law, and she's like very, very religious from Chabad, and she's like the sweetest. And my mom is like, now she like loves Judaism all of a sudden. But growing up, my mom was like anti. She felt that it was, that maybe some of us have experienced. It's you're leaving me. We have less in common. It was obviously not true, but that's how she felt. She felt that not that it was, but it's something that could take us away from her. Until eventually, one of the cool things that happened is that we met the Rebbe, and the Rebbe, our holy Rebbe, my brother just spoke to him yesterday. He's in Yerushalayim. He was giving us advice for a few years on just different things, on relationships, on life, on career, on all different things. After 3 years, my mom, it's a long time, but my mom, this, COO of the Mark Gordon Company, went to top of her school and law school and everything, super intellect, tree of life, She tells us, she says, guys, I want to speak to you. Whatever the Rebbe tells you, whatever advice he gives you, anything, I completely sign off on. Because I've seen that his advice is so good and so true for each of you. So this one Rebbe was sitting there for 12 hours, and all of a sudden, this he says, I need a few minutes, and his secretary walks in, and he's sweating like really hardcore sweating. And the secretary says, well, why are you sweating so much? You've just been sitting here. It's not hot. It's a winter in Russia. It's definitely not hot. Why are you? It's a rishta safras. Why are you sweating? And he says, my holy Gabbai, I want you to know that whenever anyone comes in to speak with me, I take off my clothes of a Hasidic Rebbe and I wear their clothes. Metaphorically speaking, in case anyone's confused. And I wear their clothes. And I need to take time to really remove myself from my own eyes and look at them from their own eyes, from their clothes. to stand and give them advice from their shoes. And that takes a lot of energy and a lot of time. When you really, really love someone and you go through life on the level of what we've been learning, of the level of sacrifices, on the level of the Omer, you're able to look at them, at every single person, not how they relate to you, but really, really love them for the divine spark within them and respect them completely no matter what. So I want to end with one last story. And one last l'chaim, this is like the postscript l'chaim.
Yes.
And I brought like 15 jackets, so whoever wants to join us outside, it's also a beautiful night. We'll sing, we'll dance, or just sit. And so there was a holy Rebbe of Aaron of Karlin. I know it's late. I apologize for going a little bit long. But just one last story to tie it all together. Talking about ego, talking about everything we've spoken about, transcendence, self-consciousness, right? So a little story to teach us, give us a hint of the goal of life. This guy who is very anti-Hasidic movement came to Rav Aaron of Karlin. Anti-Hasidic movement, the word for that, there's actually a word for that, is misnagid. It means against.
Yeah.
And he came to Rav Aaron of Karlin to see what's the big deal with this Rebbe. Everyone's talking about this Rebbe. What's the big deal? He says, standing there, and there's one part where the Rebbe eats a little bit of food and passes the food all around. So everyone should have some sort of a connection. And the Rebbe makes the blessing, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, borei priya eitz, and blessed are you, God, Master of the world, Creator of everything, who created the fruit of the tree. And everyone gets the fruit, and he's Baruch Atah Hashem. Everyone makes the blessing, and the guy's like, "What the heck is everyone going so crazy for this guy for? What's the difference between him and me? Me and him? He makes the blessing, I make the blessing. He eats the apple, I eat the apple. I don't get it. What's so special? Why is he so holy and I'm just another guy in the crowd? And what makes him better than the people next to him, than his students?" Anyway, at the end of the night, everyone goes around to the Rebbe, say Shabbat Shalom, Good Shabbos, Shab Becher, good night, whatever it is. Obviously, it's in Poland, they say Shab Becher. So they all go around and they say Good Shabbos, Good Shabbos. All of a sudden, this guy comes around and he says, looks at the Rebbe, maybe the Rebbe looked at his eyes, I don't know what it was. He says Good Shabbos and the Rebbe stops him. He says, "Holy brother, before you go on to your family and go back to sleep and have the rest of your Shabbat, I have one question for you. Holy brother, what's the difference between you and I? What's the difference? I make the blessing on the apple. You make the blessing on the apple. I eat the apple, you eat the apple. What's the difference?" And the guy's like, "Wow, Rebbe. If I didn't hate you so much, I would say you could read minds. So why? What is the difference?" "Yeah, totally. I'm with you. What's the answer?" And the Holy Rebbe, Aaron of Karlin, says, "My sweetest Jew, I want you to know. Why did you say the blessing on the why did you say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, borei priya eitz? Why did you say the blessing on the apple?" He says, "So I could eat the apple." He says, I only ate the apple so that I could say the blessing. We're given such a beautiful world. To use it for its own sake, just to fulfill that base desire, whatever it is at that moment, is such a waste of the beauty of the world. To use the world and to say, "God, I'm going to use all the gifts and all the blessings you gave me and lift it up to you. I'm going to take my animal soul and transform it into the most beautiful, sweetest offering of barley to you." L'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim, shkoyach.
So let's do one quick small niggin. And then whoever's down, we should go outside and continue.
Whoever's up.
Huh?
Whoever's up.
Whoever's up. Whoever's up. Whoever's down. Na na na